Hey guys, and welcome back to another Tops episode. So, with the small break in the Pokemon nonsense with the Fair Games of 2022, but entirely because that needed to be made sooner or later because I keep forgetting how to, to doing so last couple of years. No, we're going back to the Pokemon nonsense now with my favorite characters of Scarlet and Violet. So, if there's going to be an expansion pass with new characters, I'm going to say this right now, this is going to be for the base game. Not based game, base game. The game's not based. The base game, Scarlet and Violet, assuming that it's going to be an expansion pass or DLC with new characters I might like more than these guys. So, okay. So, okay, it says right now, this list was hard to do, but mostly because I am not as attached to the majority of these characters as I am for other generations. Then again, I'm not even attached to Sinnoh characters, granted. But, I'm not entirely too attached to any of these characters. Aside from maybe the top 2 on this list, maybe 4. But the rest of these are just, characters that just kind of like for whatever. So, yeah, favorite characters, some Scarlet and Violet. Let's see if there's going to be a future expansion characters I might like more than the majority of these guys. But again, we'll see. Number 10, Aerie. I just think that she's cool. And just so you know, she's the only Team Star member on this list, including Penny. Oh, wait, I forgot to mention there's spoiler stuff. You'll see why in a second. But, out of Team Star, I think Aerie is the coolest one. That's mainly because, well, see that weird face. I don't know if it's a face paint or something. It's either face paint. That makes her look super menacing, but she's supposed to be a gentle giant kind of character who's actually so strong that not only in universe that she out-trained Team Star and bosses and stuff, to make them pretty good for battle, but also in game where apparently in the intended order the devs want the player to go, since there's no level scaling, she's the strongest trainer with a type specialty. That's before the Elite Four. So I just find that kind of crazy. Between the Titans, the Jigglypuffs, and Team Star, she's the strongest. So yeah, it's kind of funny that, not only in-universe, but also in-game, that Aerie's pretty freaking strong. And yeah, it usually looks the part. So not only, she's pretty huge, but also, the face paint here is actually pretty sick. I do feel like Aerie is, probably cool factor alone, very high up there for Scarlet and Violet. Number 9, Kofu, mostly because I just find him funny and just like him because he's like Seabold except not cringe. As long as I say he's Seabold but not cringe. He's a pretty funny dude. I think I respect him. I respect him for being this old jolly dude. Wants to cooking stuff, has to go rush through Puerto Marinada, but without his wallet. Yeah, just gone a rush, but people love him, and it's just he's a pretty cool dude. He's pretty chill. Respect. I gotta say, respect this man. I think I remember between all the other gym leaders, I do find respect for this guy. So, yeah, I'll give Kofu my respects. If he shows up in matches, would I play him? No, heck no. But, I do play his personality pretty decent. But he's still pretty low on the list because, whatever. Next up, Rhyhorn, but mostly because she's a dark-skinned woman, long blue hair. And other, references other old Pokemon. You see an Articuno on her, shirt here. And then she has, a Nulala belt buckle or whatever. She's pretty cool. Design-wise, I think she's one of the better ones. And, the history class and stuff like that. And, ties to, the Treasure of Ruin, a little bit. But, yeah. And she, so focused on, specific type of history, the specific past, But like, she cringes at the fact that she has to mention Turo anywhere. By the way, I only play Violet, so I just find it kind of funny. Like all these modern things I'm just not a fan of. Like, I want to talk about all these stuff from the past. So Missy wondered, like, if Ryford knows about Area Zero and Scarlet, would you have like rushed to Area Zero, go talk to Sada, and I'm gonna go to the the past with you in your time machine? That'd be hilarious. But like, story-wise, it probably wouldn't make sense for Turo. So I just feel like that'd be kind of funny. It's still kind of interesting. Like, I don't know, like, if she feels anything about Sada and Scarlet. Like, I doubt it. But like, consider how she wants to talk about the past and stuff like that. But like, I don't know. Maybe just me. I just feel like, design-wise, this is one of the better ones. But, yeah. I gotta have more to say here about her. Now, speaking of the professors, next one is Turo. I think Turo, not Sada. Because I think, like, among the characters like Turo the most. I mean, while he's not one of the reasons why I went for Violet instead of Scarlet. I mean, I went for Violet mainly because it's purple versus a red. But after seeing like Sada versus Turo, granted, both of their designs are pretty nice. Like, they both have great designs. Like, if you know about the memes about Sada and Turo, like Sada being like, again, super hot like caveman mommy versus the Giga Chat of Pokemon. I mean, come on. So, yeah, so the Giga Chad of Pokemon, he, like, obviously has that look, yes, the Giga Chad look. It's kind of interesting, spoilers ahead, like, I don't know, to be honest, with this entry, where Turo the character starts and ends, and where AI Turo starts and ends, and where the Paradise Protocol starts and ends. Because the thing is, like, the three entities there are all different to some degree. The thing is, yes, we know about Turo's design. We can infer what Turo is like while he was alive by AI Turo. And AI Turo, granted, like, it's kind of funny how, like, people speculated that something's off with Turo, how he doesn't move at all in the due time to actually interact with them. But it makes sense because he's not really a human. He's just a robot with an AI voice. But, like, the AI voice also has, like, basically, like, implanted his brain into an AI. And, yeah, I put on a robot body. But you kind of know and infer what Turo is like by AI Turo. How AI Turo is, like, different because, like, main Turo's, like, really want to make and fix this, like, time machine. So, like, dedicated to it. But, like, AI Turo wanted to, turn off and destroy, like, the machine that base Turo wanted to actually preserve. But then there's the Paradise Protocol, and things just go south really fast. So, yeah, long story short, this guy's story, kind of crazy. Like, the fact that we got a canonical, like, death, like, actual, just outright tells you explicitly that this person, well, didn't explicitly show the death, but it tells you, like, this person died, and I'm his, like, AI replacement. But, like, it's kind of crazy. And Sada's the same thing, apparently. But, yeah, this is kind of insane. Like, I feel like this is the insanity of the plot involving Turo, and Sada to some extent, too. Next up, this woman here. Okay, so immediately my thinking, like, without any context, with the pre-release, like, trailer and stuff, that, she's gonna be the champion. Like, she's tall, dark, and beautiful. She's the champion. She is. But, like, kind of. She's only kind of the champion. So, for people who care, like, I do think that she's not the champion fight. While she's a champion fight, she's not the champion fight. Like, when it comes to the champion fight, I'm pretty sure that Nemona is the champion fight. But even then, that's not the end of the game because, like, if you want for champion as the final boss, then Sada and Turo are the champion fight. But they don't really qualify as the champion fight. So, because, like, the whole Elite Four is called the champion assessment, it's a test. It's literally part of the academy test. It's not, like, the real thing, like in other regions. But all I'm going to say about Gita is that I like her team. Some people want to rearrange her team so that King Gambit's the ace instead of Glamora. I like Glamora as her ace, because not only is it better lore-wise, it continues with like the mystery of Gita, and if she's really like, you know, the person where what she says she is, or some sort of, who knows, maybe she's also an AI created by Turo just to help, you know, run the academy or something, or if she's like some sort of paradox character, and like her having Glamora as an ace, like reference to the fact that she already been to Area Zero, it might have some connections to it. But, and like, some people say, oh, her team is based, like, on Pokemon that can be found in their respective locations across the region. I like that, I like that theory. Yeah, I don't think that much more to say. But, like, I do think her having Go-Go is based because, well, for those who don't know, you know, those who don't watch my channel, Go-Go hasn't been a Pokemon game since its debut, like, 10 years ago. And it wasn't until Scarlet and Violet that it shows up, so it kind of seems like Go's grand return to Go-Go. But, I feel like that's fine. King Gambit is a good Pokemon to have, like, not 4th, but 5th, but maybe if the ace is fine. Heck, I think King Gambit could fit as an ace thematically, because of how King Gambit is like, oh, King Gambit is just there sitting, like, sitting behind all these other Bisharp and Pawniard, but doesn't really do much, like, you know, thinking much. It's just more just go all action. People might think that makes sense for Gita. I like that idea, but I like Glamora as an ace more because I feel like it fits her thematically more. And who knows, maybe she might feature an expansion pass and why she has Gita or Glamora as her, you know, ace. I don't know. But she does look pretty though. So next up, you might be wondering, did I purposely put this guy in the middle of the road just because it fits him so well? Yeah. Yeah, I kind of did intentionally put him 5th on the list, just because it thematically fits him. And then mostly because I don't know whether or not to put him or Gita 5th. So I decided to put Larry 5th because it just makes more sense. Also, like, Larry memes are pretty cool. And like how everyone loves Larry and how he's like super relatable. That's this one guy who hates his boss. I mean, granted, a lot of gym leaders do, but he hates his boss. He wants to use normal type Pokemon. He's like super dead inside. Yeah, I get it. He's a relatable dude, and it makes sense that he's super relatable. He's normal type Pokemon, and he could have been the first normal type Elite Four member, but his boss says no, gotta use them flying types. But yeah, he's a pretty cool character. And it's kind of funny how like picking Larry as like when Gita asks questions about who's your favorite, who's the hardest, she reacts differently to Larry than everyone else. I know it's probably because he hates her so much, but like I have a small little theory. Maybe there's something more going on why Gita specifically reacts to Larry more than the others. Maybe they have a thing, like, and then probably fell out of something. I don't know. Maybe it's a thing. I doubt it. Maybe I'm reaching. But, hey, I just find it funny if that ended up being the case. Or maybe the two had a falling out somewhere. Like, other than their professional relationship. Well, anyway. Yeah, Larry's pretty cool. I'll give him that. He's cool. But, not much else. I mean, he's literally what he said. He's just a normal dude. He just happened to be a gym leader and Elite Four at the same time. Okay. Next up, Rika. I really do like her design. Probably not as much as Rhyhorn, but like, it's kind of funny how like we got Grusha, a character that like people automatically assume was a girl because he looks super pretty, and then we got like the ultimate like you can't really decide my gender character in Rika. Like, is she a dude, like an effeminate dude who's actually kind of like a tomboy, or she is like, you know, somewhere in between, if you know what I mean? But yeah, I do think her design's pretty cool. Like, and like her with the glasses while doing the champion assessment, pretty cool. And she's a ground type user. And her main Clotsire. Big win! And it's kind of funny, like, for those who have seen my, Violet's Let's Play on Twitch, that I was preparing to fight any Elite Four that is not a ground type user, because, like, 4 members of my team are weak to ground in some capacity. And it turns out that the one character that looks like a flying type of character, or it could be any type other than ground, is a ground type trainer. She doesn't even look like a ground type trainer. Like, what part of her screams, oh, I'm a ground type user? Like, for everybody else, or any other type specialist, you can kind of get an idea on what their type is. Even Larry, apparently, like, he has clouds on his tie. Oh, that probably means he's flying type. And, like, he literally says himself that he's just some dude, normal dude, oh, normal type. But, like, you cannot tell with Rika. So Rika's the ultimate you can't tell what I am kind of character. And respect for that. I'll give her respect. She's cool. Her ace is pretty cool. Yeah, I got more to say. She's cool. Third up is Miriam.
Hello, nurse.
That's it. That's it. Hello, nurse. Well, anyway, yeah, she's up here more than any other of the main of the side characters, really. Is because, like, you took the time to actually read what she says to the player when the player does, talks to her about, like, the supports, you know what I mean, the Fire Emblem style supports. Like, she's, like, trying her best to actually get her, try to get her license to actually be, like, a health instructor. Trying to be a health instructor, mostly because she can't get her medical license or whatever. And, like, she wanted to, try her best to at least get something other than being the nurse. And, get a root for her and stuff. I root for her and stuff. But then she, and probably at the end say, oh, I can be a health instructor instead of just being the nurse. That's awesome. Good for you, Miriam. You're cool. Also, your design. Moving on. Number 2, that we're moving on to the main characters of this story. So I'm wondering, okay, so which two among the 3 main characters of Nemona, Arven, and Penny are in, the top of the list? And because you're already seeing one of them right now, you can probably guess what the other one is and what is not here. So anyway, I think Nemona is a pretty cool rival. Like between all the rivals, she is like kind of a bit of an aggressive rival like Barry is, but without the nonsense, without the too much constant interruptions just to battle you like Barry or Hop. Like, I think, like, there's at times where she wants to battle you, but realize, wait a minute, I'm kind of in the middle of the gym challenge, and I have a team specifically made for the gym. I don't have time to I can't really battle you right now until we get prepare a team accordingly. I mean, the player does that too. I mean, the player does that, like if you're trying to play a Pokemon game, like if you want to face a gym, you want to make a team just with the gym, or if you want to continue with making your own team, sure, but like, if you have access to a ton of Pokemon like she does, then you want to actually prepare for the gym, not for, like, just some random battle you have in the middle of nowhere, or your current rivals might have the same Pokemon you do. So, at least she's being like she's, respecting your time sometimes. Granted, she does occasionally battle you quite a lot, but isn't, like, coming out of nowhere to battle you like a lot. Barry. Okay, I understand. I like Barry, okay? I like Barry, but I just don't like the fact that he battles too often. Like, Hop, same thing. Like, you're alright as a character, but, like, when you battle way too much. Like, even when you really shouldn't. But, like, with Nemona, at least she's, like, respecting the player's time sometimes. And, like, when she does battle, she's pretty cool. And plus, like, I can't really talk about Nemona without also talking about the memes making her a Yandere character, or like a Yandere Light character. Like, how she, like, obsesses over the player, and how, like, oh, you have to worry about battling anyone else, you can only battle me. That's all the fights you will ever want, and I like to battle way too much. So yeah, that's the kind of character she is. Like, she's like a battle-obsessed yandere character. And it's kind of funny, like, she's only like that because she is so strong as a trainer that like, everyone else in the academy just doesn't want to deal with her. Like, they know they're going to lose, so why bother? I mean, granted, that's also relatable. Like, you're so strong that you don't pose a challenge anymore. Like, nobody challenges you because everyone knows you're too strong. If the top champion herself, respects you as a champion character, I don't think anyone else would want to, touch her. And she only got access to the player because she has an inkling that, oh, you might be actually pretty strong. So, yeah. That's kind of, like, interesting little backstory. And then also the whole, like, oh, her parents don't actually, give her the time of day. Like, no, that's Penny. Her parents, kind of just don't bother with her that much either. Like, they kind of neglecting parents, I guess. So she doesn't really have anyone to play with, I guess. That's kind of her character, I guess. So I'm gonna ask, like, between all rivals, where would I put Nimona? That's next, Tops. But for right now, let's go move on to the one, the only, the man. Arvin! Now, okay, so I thought that some people actually didn't like Arvin, because he's kind of a jerk early on. And I get it, he's a bit of a jerk early on, but I kind of figured I probably would have liked him anyway, entirely because, I initially thought that, during the pre-release, we know about the storylines about the Titan Pokemon, that, maybe it might be something similar to Legends Arceus, maybe the closest to Legends Arceus in this game. Not really, but it did, try some little things with Legends Arceus. Oh, you beat the main boss, and then your legendary bike actually does get new HMs. Lol, that's the Herba Mystica initials. But yeah, I think this dude is pretty cool. I think I just kind of like this guy. Even if yes, he comes off standoffish as early on, but warms up to you pretty quickly. He does rely on the player quite a lot. And even if he knows he's not the best, come on, you are the best. You are the best character. If you're the only character in this entire game actually legitimately lost to, then yes, you do deserve to have some sort of, mention here. Even if it's Karu doesn't seem like he's that strong, but he actually is. But, I honestly, if, Arvin versus Nimona, in story, Nimona will win. In battle, Arvin will win. But, even with, Mona's, starter and, other Pokemon there, and, yeah, he has Greedent. But, I'm just saying that, Arvin's a pretty cool character. Very respectable character. It's his little, mommy/daddy issues. Yeah. And then, all his, different reactions when seeing AI Turo or Sada. And, how does he feel about them? But then he had his closures. It feels like he's good after, more or less solving the mystery of his parents. Speaking of his parents, there's this ongoing theory that, Sada and Turo were the opposite professor is actually in, the main games, both at the same time in both games. But because only one of them is the main professor, maybe the other professor, or maybe not even be the professor, maybe just actually doing something else, but left the family. Might be possible to see them in expansion pass if it turns out to be a thing. Who knows? Maybe we might see Arvin's remaining pair to see what happens to them. But for right now, I do think that Arvin, he's pretty cool. He's pretty strong. I respect him. He's alright. Okay, just so you know, before I finish off this video. Okay, for the purposes of next video, next topic is going to be my favorite Pokemon rivals, I am counting Arvin and Penny as rivals. But mostly because of how I define what a rival character is. So, I don't know what Pokemon Masters will do, will consider him. Whether I consider a rival or not. Because he only battles the player one time. Well, technically 2 times. But I will consider him a rival for the purposes of next video. You'll see what I mean later. But for right now, see you guys later for next top episode, which is going to be a fair Pokemon Rivals.